Alright, this is the final movie for the Part 1 Guide 3, and we're going to do the word text assignment that's right on the bottom, and I've gone to the one that I had finished last year, and I'm going to collapse this layer palette stuff here so we can just get close and I can show you something that is the attributes of this bottom one. As before, we are going to use the divide command, and it's going to just appear like this at first, as you can see, with just the letters, the boxes, and then them cut in half. Okay, so each thing is going to be separate, each thing being the top of the letters, the bottom of the letters, and the box without the bottom of the letters. So let me click back to here and show you what I really want. We are going to group the top of the letters as I'm marqueing here, and we're going to have a gradient going from dark to the horizon of light all the way across, and I'm going to have to delete out shapes if they do remain after I hit the divide command, on shapes that I don't want there. The rectangle gets a gradient going from light to dark, left to right, and the bottom horizon of the letters gets the same gradient of just black to white but going the opposite direction. Then I want to put a 0.25 white stroke on all the bottom shapes, and I call these shapes singles. Notice how only one section or segment of that shape is touching the horizon. Therefore, it's a simple delete. What I mean by that is, watch how I can make a small little box here. I'll put a colored stroke on that little box just so you can see anything. It doesn't really matter. I'll make it your favorite color. Actually, let me make it a little bit whatever here. Okay, now let me get close to that shape. Watch how I can take that little segment, since it's only one section, and I can select just that one upper section. Let me make that just a little bit bigger so you can see it. Now let me change the color so we can see the selection line underneath. Now do you see how I'm touching the selection line right there? I can click that, hit the delete key, and only that one shape will delete out. But for a letter shape that has two sections that I have to delete out, I obviously can't do that. So the solution to having something that has two shapes that you have to delete out, I might as well do it now, is as follows. Watch me make a real quick little shape here. A shape that is going to simulate that letter A, where I'm going to have two sections of that shape right there touching a non-existent horizon. Now pretend that I want to delete out this one and this one. I can't, or I'd lose the integrity of the shape. So the solution for something that has a double is to do the following. To have the first one have no stroke. To go Command C to copy and Command F, and I'll show you what that is. Command F is to paste an exact copy in front, not the normal Command V, but the Command F. Now I'm going to put a Command F and have two of them. I'll move it a teeny weeny bit away so you saw that I indeed did have two of them there. Now here's the goal. Without moving one from the other, I would have gone fill to nothing, stroke to whatever color I wanted originally, which is just that, and then I would have been able to delete out the first one by touching that line segment and hitting the delete key, then clicking away and clicking back on the second one and hitting the delete key, and now you can see if I hadn't moved them in the first place, I would have the shape I'm after. But it's really not one shape, it's a faked out two shape. So that's what we have to do when I call a double above the horizon. Okay? If you have it above or below, you have to make a copy of that singular shape by Command C, Command F. Remove the stroke from the bottom one first before you make the copy. Then on the top one, just simply take the fill away, add the stroke, delete out your two lines, and you'll be done. Now, let's go do it. And that's what I want all the way across. So it looks like the black line runs right into the white line all the way across, and it's a nice design element. That's what you have to do. Now here's the movie in order to do that. Let's take the shapes, let's go like this, and whoops, I clicked the wrong thing here. And just so you can see everything, I want to go like this, go down in one size here. I want to marquee the whole shape like this, and I want to hit Pathfinder. Wherever I put Pathfinder, oh, it's right there. I'm going to hit the divide command, which is the bottom left one. Now that I've hit the divide command, I'll put this right here so we can see the whole thing happen. And I'll do it from this distance, and I'll keep everything on the screen because I basically need everything on the screen. I am going to take the rectangle by itself and click on it with the direct selection tool, which is the A key. I'm going to click a gradient on the bottom. I'm going to take the G key and I'm going to drag, but I'm going to drag a little bit more from, let me move this down. I'm going to drag a little bit more from the outer left to get a little bit of gray on that edge. So I'm going to take, hold the shift key and drag left to right. Now I'm going to go Object Lock, which if you remember is Command 2. So I will go Command 2. Now I will start a marquee from the bottom and I will grab all, make sure as close as you can get it up there. And now I have only the bottom shapes. Now in the layer palette I want to group those and I want to show you where those are. Do you see all of these shapes here, the ones that I'm circling? I want those grouped, and eventually we're going to group them with the upper shapes. So I'll have a subgroup there, and then I will group them with the rectangle. So it'll take me 3 clicks to get through them all from subgrouping, and we'll do that at the end. But first, watch over here when I hit Command G. I now have a bottom. In fact, I'll double click it and I'll call it bottom. You don't have to name it, I don't care. But I just want you to see where it is. Now that I have them selected, let's hit the gradient. So I'll move this up. Let's hit the gradient down here. Where is it? Right there. Well, I could have just hit it over here too. And let's take the G key, and instead of going left to right, let's go right to left. Now, let's take the stroke to white at 0.25 of a thickness. Look at how I'm doing that right there. And now our job is to delete all of the strokes on the horizon. Now quickly I'm going to get that done. So let's go real close to this and let's start the clicking all the way across. Watch, if I click once right there, the points are open, hit the delete key. Click away. If you click and all the points are closed and you hit the delete key, well, you're going to make a mistake and delete out the whole shape like I just did. So let's go Command Z, click away, click right on that stroke. Whoops, they're solid still, Brian. Let's click and let's go delete. I'm going to take the space bar and move my hand over. I'll hit the A key so I can just keep on clicking and moving across very fast. Look at how I can do this. Delete. If I make a mistake, I'll just Command Z back. There's only one of these shapes on the horizon, so I'll go all the way across. Bear with me. Let me just keep it going as fast as I possibly can. And so far, I am good. I'm very close to having a bad thing happen there, but I'm still okay. Whoops. I do have a bad thing. I have two parts of that shape because I missed it by just a little bit. I didn't realize that that would miss. Let me see if this is going to cause a bad thing to happen on this one. I don't think it is. But let me click that little shape right there and see if I can get that. All right, I don't think that's going to cause a bad problem. I was very lucky. I was very close. And each time you do it, you have to click to the next one. Remember, as I said before, these are all singles. Only one line segment touches the area on the horizon, so I only have to delete out, oh, I'm close there too. So I only have to delete out one line segment so my shape can have a fill and a stroke, and I can remove the stroke from my particular shape. Now let me click right there and delete it out. Even though you can hardly see it, it still is well deleted out. Now let's hit Command S to save the file, Mr. Sorio, because you haven't done that yet, you silly man. And now let's go do the upper shape. So I'm going to open up the layer palette so you can see it again. Let's marquee from the top, getting all of those shapes, but don't go past the horizon. There they are right here, and you can see there's a lot of these shapes, and I want you to make you aware the ones that I'm circling here are actually the holes on the inside, and you're going to see something happen that you're going to assume would have never happened. But when you use the divide command, even something that was a nothing turns into a something, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's take and click the gradient. Let me grab this again and click the same gradient. I did it again. I could have gone just over there. And let's maneuver this down because I want you to see it. Let's take the G key and let's go from the bottom up like this. So I have my gradient. Let's take the stroke to black, just like I did, to 0.25. That's fine. And now I want to delete out all of the top shapes. Before I do that, though, I have to hit Command G to group it. So here is my Command G. Now, I'm going to double click this and I'm going to call it Top Group. Now, I want you to be aware of something. If I try to click, I'll say it slowly. Let me move it over so you can see where I'm talking. If I try to click that one shape right there, that one black line right there, and if I try to delete it out, it will click the bottom because the bottom has preference over the top if you look at the layer palette. Here's the bottom. It's higher in the layer palette than the top is. So I either have to move the top layer, which is here, I have to move it above the bottom layer, and therefore I won't have to lock the bottom layer, or just leave it where it is and lock the bottom layer. Now I can't even touch the bottom layer. See how I'm trying to click on it and it won't click? That's what I wanted in the first place. Now, before I go taking the black strokes away, let's click all the holes and hit the delete key. And let's go through all the holes and click and remove what looked like a nothing, and Illustrator made it into a something. Now I shift clicked all three of these, if that's the right way to say it, and I'm going to delete once. And now let's move over. Let's take this one, click, shift click, delete. Let's move over. Okay, that's all the ones that are the holes. Now, if I click the circle for the top group over here and I open it up, you will notice that I only have the shapes that I want. I don't have any of the internal shapes. I'll collapse the top one, and let's go down now and remove, from starting from the left, all of the singles. Okay, I can only do the singles first. So let's go click, delete. This is not a, oh, it almost is a single. I will see if it's a single. Yes, it's a single. I'm going to delete it out, and I was very lucky. Let's click over here and delete it out. I actually want to have a double somewhere. I think I will have a double on my N and M, so that's fine. I'll go all the way across and I'll be able to click. Now remember, I'm only able to click on this top letters over here because I locked the bottom group. Please have your layer palettes open at all times and keep your eye on the layer palette. If you can't click on something or you have to get to something, it's easier to maneuver it in the layer palette than it is to try to figure out where it is on the screen in the what's above and what's below stacking order. Now here's a double. You can see right there I've made a bad thing happen. It's okay, I'm not going to panic, but I have a double. In fact, I have to get rid of that 2 little points right there. Now, I can't click this one. Let me see what happens here. I have to click away and click right back on it. All right, that one is a double. If I try to click this one gone here and this one gone over here, I'm going to lose the integrity of the shape. It's not going to fill. It's going to, I don't even want to tell you what it's going to do. It's going to fill all the way across from the open point to the closed point and create 2 shapes if I take 2 line segments out. And if you want to go ahead and make your own mistake just to see what happens, go ahead. But here is the solution for the double shapes after I remove the E. The E is a single. I can delete that one out. I can click on the N over here, click that one out, click away, click back on the, whoops, I did. Brian, the N is not a single. Sorry, the T is a single. See? Now, let's go fix the N. Okay, I thought I got rid of that one. Let's go fix the N and the M and the N. Now, here's the solution, and I'll do it, and the G. I have to do 4 shapes. I'm going to do them all at one time. I'm going to click this one and shift click this one, and this one. These are doubles. You got it? Now, I cannot have a stroke on the bottom one, so look at my tool palette. I am taking it away. There is no stroke. Now, Command C to copy, Command F to put another one in front. Now, momentarily, I'm going to move that one up so you can see that I have 2 shapes They're exactly the same and they're on top of each other. I'm going to Command Z them back so they go right back on top of each other. To this one, I'm going to take the fill to nothing. I'm going to take the stroke to black. I'm going to make the black 0.25. I can't say it any simpler than that. I'm going to go Marquee the G, and now I can click one side of the G and hit the delete key, and I can take and select away and select back and take the other side and get rid of it. Now I'm going to move that stroke over just a skosh so you can see that all I had was a stroke with no fill. The bottom shape was a fill with no stroke, but I'm going to Command Z back the placement, and I think you got it by now. Let's click the N. Let's click away, click back on the N. The points are open. Let's move it over. I had to do it 3 times on this one. Delete, click away, click back, delete, click away, click back, delete. And let's move over to the other last one. Click, delete, click away, click back, click delete. Now, I'm not finished. I still have to make all of my subgroups. Now would you please pay attention to the subgroups. So far all I have is a bottom group. As you can see, there's a bottom group. There's a path for the rectangle, and here is the top group. I want to create a subgroup of everything. Now watch the way I do this. I'm going to click the entire group up here with the circle over by the G, and I'm going to go to Object Unlock All. Option Command 2. I got to have them all unlocked before I do this. Now, I'm going to click the circle for the bottom group, and I'm going to Shift click the circle for the top group, and I'm going to hit Command G. Great. Now I'm going to Shift click the circle for the rectangle. In that order, I group the tops with the bottom, and then both of those to the rectangle. So I now hit Command G. And I now have a parent that's in there that goes like this. If I hit the A key and I go over here and I get close on this, you're going to be graded this way on this. Not only did you do correctly on the 0.25 strokes, but I want you to go to the group tool. If you forget where the group tool is, it's inside the tear off menu, and you can click the group tool. If I click once on the upper T, I only get one of the upper letters. If I click twice, I get all the upper letters. If I click 3 times, I get the bottom letters with them. And if I click 4 times, I get the rectangle. You must have 4 clicks. If you screwed up, ungroup everything that you had there by going to ungroup, and keep on going to ungroup until you fix it. And this is what that means. Then Shift click all the shapes independently by going like this. If you mess up, you'll have count how many there are on top, count how many there are on the bottom, and count the rectangle, and then marquee, remarquee all the top shapes like this. Hit Command G. Click and turn off the bottom rectangle. Then marquee all the bottom shapes and hit Command G. Okay? Then marquee the top and the bottom and hit Command G. And then turn back on the path, marquee everything again and hit Command G, and you will have fixed your groups and subgroups. Okay? Hope you enjoyed this one. It's really a good thing to understand what I've given you. Please use the layer palette. Please make sure your groups and subgroups are okay. If you have to watch this movie over again, please do so. And I'll see you in Guide 4.